whether we like it or not, we are here meeting this morning. We exchange the greeting and say good morning. Isn't that beautiful? You could say I don't like you, but good morning. Which means beyond our emotion, feeling of life in this life, we are able to greet each other, meet each other. Good morning. And this morning we are observing Pet Memorial Service along with the spring equinox, we call it Higan-ye, spring equinox service. It should be balanced, hot and cold. Harmonious weather to make us feel to study and search the meaning of life and souls. At the same time, extending our love and respect to our pets who share the life together. I could say that my wife has been wife of my priesthood minister's life for years and years. But when we lost Pet, she became more sincere or serious to participate in morning service and more listening, teaching of the something beyond our knowledge. In our case, it's Buddhist teaching. So I could say that our dog, his name was Hari, is a bodhisattva, which means the one who works for one's enlightenment at the same time working for others' enlightenment. That's the spirit, isn't that? So here I see so many pictures of pets in here. They are also very fortunate to be, placed in the front and show such a respect by others. Sometimes pet animals, we call, may have more compassionate heart than human beings. Sometimes we have to be careful. You know that? They don't discriminate Christian or Buddhist or atheist like that. They just simply accept and associate with animals. That's a true sense of practice of love and compassion, isn't it? So we could learn a lot from others' life. And this morning we are very fortunate to introduce the Dr. Susan Gilkey. Okay? She has been the medical doctors at very well-known Cook County hospitals in Chicago. Cook County Hospital. Chicago Cook County Hospital that became very much known by the TV dramas and so on, isn't it? I've been there for over 25 years and a certified yoga instructor, and so dedicated for hospitals, communities, homeless centers, and county jail. I used to go to county jail for years, 2 years. And after I left Chicago, she took over my place. Every time when I go walk into county jail, since I'm very tiny, doesn't matter. Always God be with me, not to be. I'm not caught by inmates. Most of the inmates are big. It doesn't matter. So she has been dedicating, teaching meditations at the county jail. And she has been worked as minister's assistant. Of course, member of the Buddhist temple. Okay? And I don't know, fortunate or unfortunate, she has been my student for from the beginning to over 20 years. So must be something there. Someone who stayed over 1 year, it could be something else. So let me introduce Dr. Susan Gilkey. She'll speak to us for a short moment.
Giving a short talk for the young people, although it's my experience that stories and talks for young people are especially meaningful for adults too. So I hope that's the case. Then I'll go into the main thing I wanted to share. It's lovely that you have a pet memorial. It's beautiful seeing all those pictures. I can hardly look. It makes me want to cry. I'm also a pet owner and have lost pets too. I think many of us have this experience very meaningful. But beyond even the animals that we generally keep as pets, you know, really all animals are bodhisattvas and teachers to us in so many different ways. So I don't know if you are aware that this year, according to the Chinese horoscope, is the year of the snake. So that's interesting. We don't usually think of snakes in a particularly positive light, and yet, in fact, they have qualities that really can inspire us. So it's interesting to think about the qualities of the snake. One of them is they're very humble. You know, they stay along the ground. They just kind of stay very low. They just are very quiet. They move silently, very still, and they stay to the ground. They're very humble. In addition, as a species, snakes are extremely versatile. You know, you get snakes in deserts, you get snakes in the mountains, you get snakes in the desert, you even get snakes along rivers as well as in the ocean. So they're very, very adaptable. They're flexible, of course, in their movements too. And the last thing about snakes is that they're quite willing to change. We usually are very resistant to change, of course. It doesn't take too much reflection to remember that about ourselves. But snakes, remember snakes, I'm not sure how often it is, maybe it depends upon the variety, they shed their skins entirely. So they, as if, start all over again on a regular basis. So that's a wonderful teaching, just to be able to drop it, just shed that skin and move on into a whole different phase, constantly changing. So maybe you never thought about it before, but in fact, snakes are wonderful teachers too. So that's why we'll talk about snakes today. Don't worry, I don't see any, so you're quite safe just go. But anyway, it is lovely, lovely to be here. I really thank you so much for your warm hospitality. It was a wonderful day yesterday with the Mind Body Seminar. I feel so honored to be part of the launch, if you will, of the Mind Body Seminars under Sensei Ogui here at your temple. And it is a lovely temple, really, and what a wonderful kitchen you have. I really admire it. So we all share a wonderful opportunity in this life, and that is to study under Ogui Sensei. You maybe don't even realize the extent of that. You see, speaking about him when the sun comes out, right? So it's amazing to have a chance to be with him, to learn from him, to sit with meditation from him, to listen to his Dharma messages. They will be short, don't worry. Mine may be a little bit longer. His messages are always short, doesn't take too much of your time, but wow, what an impact. So people were asking me yesterday how I came to be involved in Midwest Buddhist Temple, so now is the time I can reveal this story. A long time ago, this was only a few years after I started at Cook County Hospital, and this was maybe shortly after he had started there actually. There was a memorial service, and this memorial service was for the father of a colleague of ours at the hospital. So the doctor, she was an oncologist, and Shimoto was her last name, and her father passed away. Now, Midwest Buddhist Temple was not their temple. I'm not sure which one was, but at any rate, they decided to have it at Midwest Buddhist Temple, and that was because of the parking lot. So that's one thing that I really admire about Buddhists very much, is everybody's very down to earth. So parking lots, because that's very important. And I see that you all have a lovely big parking lot. So there's many, many wonderful things ahead for you. Your future is bright. But at any rate, so we had the funeral service was going to be at Midwest Buddhist Temple. So a bunch of us from the hospital decided to go because we're very fond of this colleague. She works very hard. She's head of oncology, and we all really admire her very much, so we wanted to go. So to get to Midwest Buddhist Temple, you've got to go through this maze. So we managed it. But anyway, I remember to this day the Dharma talk that Sensei gave. And this goes back well over 15 years. And I can almost quote it verbatim because it was so short. So I think he realized that there were so many of us who had never been to the temple before. So I can only imagine how he was thinking, like, what am I going to say? And it was lovely. Here's what it was. He said, well, and this was at a funeral service, and there had already been a eulogy, but we thought it was going to be, about dying and everything, but no. He said, well, English is such a beautiful language. You have such a beautiful language here in English. You have many beautiful expressions. One of the ones I like the best, I'm going to cry when I say this, I'll be careful. He said, one of the best ones that I really like is take care of yourself. Wow. And he just said, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. And he sat back down. I thought, wow. I've heard a lot of sermons in my time, but never anyone quite that short, that succinct, or really that powerful. I thought, wow. And I never forgot it. And then as time went by and things happened, I found myself in an opportunity being able to come back to Midwest Buddhist Temple. He was still there. So that's the story, and one thing led to another. But that whole idea of take care of your life is so important. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Beautiful message. So I think this Ohigan time, at the beginning of spring, is a good time to kind of reflect about these things. And taking care of yourself, taking care of your life, or we will ask you, how are you taking care of your life? You can realize there's so many wonderful teachings in Buddhism that really, really bring to bear so much wisdom on this. And this is one of the main reasons why I stay, why I keep being involved. I think it's very meaningful. So one of the teachings that I particularly have reflected upon over the years, and I like to share with you because it's the right time of the year, is the paramitas. So these are some reflections that I have on them that I'd like to share with you. The first one, of course, is Dana. May I be generous and helpful. This paramita emphasizes giving and unselfishness. Dana sometimes means a donation of money, but the most important aspect is the kindness, the friendliness, warm-heartedness. It means extending oneself to others, genuinely caring about others and helping others. It means being friendly to everyone. Dana does not discriminate. Dana looks beyond the secondary characteristics that usually divide people, such as race, culture, class, nationality, religion, language, etc. We must not forget that the primary characteristic of our life is that we are all human beings. The essential characteristic is our similarity in shared humanity. Dana is based upon this awareness of our oneness and emphasizes having a warm heart. The next paramita is Sila. May I be pure and virtuous. Sila concerns sincerity and humility. Being virtuous means doing no harm. Sila means doing one thing at a time and doing it 100%. Then when it's finished, let it go. It is the practice of just, one-pointedness, no ulterior motive, no hypocrisy, no cynicism, no selfish residue. Life is distilled to its most simple, its most natural and pure. Sila is humility, through which this naturalness is achieved. Through humility, we can achieve acceptance, confidence, self-mastery. We remain within our limits, realizing all the while that with there's no limitation. Humility opens us up to learning and growing. We have many, many teachers, including all of our beloved pets and all the animals and all sentient beings. We open ourselves to their teachings and our Buddha nature and the luminous quality of our mind through this sincerity. In Sila, there is much stability and comfortableness to be had. Kshanti, may I be patient, may I be able to bear and forbear the wrongs of others. This paramita is about acceptance and forgiveness. It means not grasping or rejecting. Patience means not being in a hurry or irritable or being preoccupied with selfish concerns. So, Kshanti means being gentle to all beings and things. It is expressing tolerance and forgiveness. Kshanti is the absence of aversion, prejudice, judgmental attitudes, and perfectionism. It means respect and understanding for the uniqueness of each situation, each moment, and each person. Kshanti is very much an expression of let it come and let it go. Virya, the next one. May I be strenuous, energetic, and persevering. This paramita means determination and steadfastness. It means keep going, keep doing. When the question is asked, is your switch on? Virya says yes. It means putting yourself into things with vigor and courage, as well as awareness. It means being responsible for our thoughts, words, deeds, and being accountable for these. It was well expressed by Mother Teresa in two very memorable quotes. The first one is, "What you build today may be torn down tomorrow. Build it anyway. People are unpredictable and unreliable. Love them anyway. They may say you do good for selfish motives, but do good anyway." And secondly, we cannot all do great things, but we can all do things with great love. Dhyana is the next paramita. May I practice meditation and attain concentration to serve all beings. Dhyana is our practice, whatever that may be, which we sustain with discipline. It is about taking refuge in the three treasures, calming down, letting go, and the practice that requires. Every day, ongoing. It is about opening to vastness. Dhyana is increasing stillness, space, and openness, and allowing anger, greed, and ignorance to subside. Through practice, we increase our awareness of all the teachings around us. Our practice helps us to let go of attachments, preoccupations, fixed ideas, and rigidity. Dhyana, or practice, is overcoming selfishness through the realization of oneness. Prajna, lastly. May I gain wisdom and be able to give the benefit of my wisdom to others. This paramita is about listening, learning, and change. It is going beyond a dualistic approach in living and in spirituality. Prajna is harmonizing body and mind, being aware of the moment, the eternal now. Prajna is the energy of wowness. I'm sure Sensei has already introduced wowness as a very important Buddhist concept. It is awareness of impermanence and interdependence. Prajna is naturalness. It is the flowering of our Buddha nature, which we share with all sentient beings. All of these paramitas have a common element of going beyond preoccupation with the self and have a common concern for others. Put together, these paramitas might be well summed up by a quote, lastly, from His Holiness Dalai Lama. When you wake each day, say to yourself, I have a precious human life. I'm not going to waste it. I'm going to use all my energies to develop myself and expand my heart out to others. To achieve enlightenment for the benefit of others. I will have kind thoughts of others. I'm not going to get angry or think badly of others. I will benefit others as much as I can. We don't worry about whether or not we can follow these parameters well or not. We don't really draw conclusions about this. We just do it. And we keep doing it anyway. Well, that's my sharing. And thank you so much again for the wonderful opportunity to meet you, to be with you, to share the weekend with you, and also share some reflections with you that I have learned from studying with Oguri Sensei. Thank you so much. Palms together, Namo Amida. Namo Amida.